Shall we start? Okay. Assalamualaikum and a good day to Madam Khairul binti Haji Ahmad. So today we will be presenting for EDUP2132. So uh, before that, let me introduce myself. I am NATAYSA binti ABDULLAH. We have MIRA MUSTIKA binti ISRA, and then we have Isyarul Muqris bin Muhammad RUSLIN. So the topic of today will be misuse of social media by teachers. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so okay. So we will be covered six subtopic, which is introductions, background issues, factors, implications, proposed workaround issue, and then we have conclusion. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay. Um, The landscape of technology misuse by teachers have evolved, presenting a particular concerning trends. So one of the issue is teachers using students as subjects of their social media content. So we are presenting about the social media misuse by teachers. So lately we are seeing instances where teachers are increasingly making students as the subject of their social media content. They post and posts for social media. These involve recording classroom activities, student performance, or even everyday interactions where they even students are learning about ABC, teachers are recording all that. And then they share that without a proper consent or considering the implications of the students' privacy. I think this has sparked debate amongst educators all around the world. This is not just issues in Malaysia, but this has been an issues that globalized. This practice raises significant ethical red flag. So we will be seeing about codes of ethics in the next slide. However, I think that we are moving forward, but the the inclines of privacy has taken tolls for students. So next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. So as we can see, our ministers of education, President Nasruddin, are talking about social media use by teachers, and teachers reminded to comply with existing guidelines of social media. So we have a codes of ethics, with it emphasize on professionalism, integrity, and responsibility. Is directly challenged where students in extent turned into public content. So we are seeing this as a serious issue, but this has become something very normal, and everyone is posting their students, and they don't think that it is very dangerous for us to properly making use of that for fame, for um, just just to think that they are um, gaining attention for that. So, do you think that is it professional who exploit the teacher's student dynamic for online education? Does it demonstrate integrity to discredit a student right to privacy? Are teachers fulfilling their responsibility to safeguard the well-being of their students, where their image and videos are shared widely online without clear understanding or control? So, teachers are posting all that just to make sure that they gain fame, they gain views, and they feel that it's not equally important as students are just children. So we are talking about their privacy. And then we have the codes of conduct for civil servant. which require government employees to uphold the reputations of the service. But teachers still engaging to exploit the student. We are failed to protect the children, and I think that will be tarnishing the teachers' reputations, and automatically hurting the education system. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so Malaysian teaching codes of educations or codes of ethic I have mentioned earlier. So these codes of teaching, teachers are bound to compile with this code. So this is a clear guideline to act professionally. Teachers must aware to act professionally and ethically in their professions, and it's actually a set of behavior responsibility of the teachers towards society, country, and students. So we as the teachers must know that our students is actually our client, so we have to protect them. So these codes also emphasizing on responsibility towards students, toward parent, toward society and the country, toward colleague, toward the teaching professional. So we are seeing this as a big issue, and we as teachers have to make sure that our students are being protected. So the recent reminder from the Ministry of Education, as I mentioned earlier, we have to adhere the social media guideline, because we are harming the student, we are harming their privacy and their digital footprint. So this trend of using students as a content underscore the urgent needs of deeper understanding of the ethical boundaries in the digital age, and teachers have to govern and to follow the guideline that have been implemented by the government. So next slide, please. Okay, so we are moving to background issue surrounding this concept. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so the first thing is we are it's crucial to maintaining professionalism. That's because we are teachers, we are bound to expose things online as we are moving toward that particular technological era. But we have to make a clear boundaries, and teachers are expected to be professional both in school and in their personal life. So we have to responsible in what we are posting and what we are uh, posting online. So because that reflect on the integrity of the professional. So their conduct in all sapphire reflect the integrity of our teaching profession. So whatever we post online, it will reflect our thinking, our levels of educations, and maybe how we control something. And then social media challenges. Okay, I think the rise of platform leading to instances of posting inappropriate contents. These are usually for our personal life. Teachers have to make sure that we don't post something that's not appropriate for us. So we are bound to follow those ethics. The second one will be criticizing schools, governments, policies publicly. So we have made sure that we have to adhere the public, and then we have to make sure we don't participate in the forms of online misconduct. For example, like um, online forum, and then if you know that back then, I think in last month there was a debate about students that went missing, and then uh, have um, that have sparked a debate for students and teachers online, and everyone is making assumptions, and they think that teachers are not responsible enough and just using social media um, inappropriately. And then we have violations of regulations, service circular number 3 stroke 2004 regulate online conduct for all civil servants, including teachers, and inappropriate online behavior can be seen as violations of this guideline. So, as I mentioned earlier, teachers have to make sure that we don't engage with other forms of online misconduct. We don't have to engage in something that we think is controversial, and we have to make sure that we keep our professionalism online and offline, whether we keep it anonymously or we expose our identity. We have to make sure that we are able to keep the privacy. We are able to keep the students' privacies too, and then we have to make sure that we are able to adhere to social media guidelines because it becomes very critical in this context. And then we have to make sure our digital footprint to be taken off um, uh, in the way that it should be. I think that's all from my part. So I will pass to Mira Mustika. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Natasha. Assalamualaikum. I bid to Madam. Okay, without further ado, I will continue with the presentation regarding factors of the issue presented by Natasha. Next slide, please. Okay, here I present four factors. The first one would be lack of awareness. Some teachers may not fully understand the risks or implications associated with their social media activity. Teachers may not have received training on the responsible use of social media in a professional context, leading to unintentional misusage. And they also may unknowingly post inappropriate content, be it involve students or other content in online that could damage their professional image or violate school policies. Okay, the second factors is emotional reactions caused by frustration and even burnout. We know that teachers often face high levels of stress due to heavy workloads, difficult classroom environments, or administrative pressure. So, the lack of emotional outlets in the workplace may actually lead them to turn to social media for release. For example, a teacher frustrated with disruptive student behavior may post a rant on Facebook or Twitter about how difficult their students are to manage. Even though their frustration or their burnout can be understood, however, the teacher should actually understand that the action that they have portray themselves online is actually inappropriate. Okay, the third factor would be blurring personal or professional boundaries. So here means that teachers are confused between the two, personal and professional boundaries. So social media inherently merge personal and professional lives. So teachers often use platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter to maintain personal connections. And these connections may extend those to students, creating a lack of clear boundaries. So when teachers share personal details, thoughts, or images with students, or images of students themselves, it may lead to a breakdown in the professional teacher relationship, potentially creating uncomfortable or inappropriate situations, especially between teachers and students. Okay, so the fourth factor is the influence of viral culture. So, teachers seeking online popularity may post unprofessional content. So, here, viral culture often emphasizes on validation through likes, shares, comments, and even followers. So, teachers, like many people, may involve in seeking validation from their social media audience, particularly in the form of positive feedback or attention from students, parents, or even their peers. So, the desire for social validation may push teachers to post content that is designed to gain attention, even though despite the attention involve posting things related to their own students rather than content that aligns with professional conduct. For example, uh, teachers may post controversial opinions or personal stories about their students to gain attention, or share viral memes that aren't necessarily suitable for the classroom. So this could actually damage their reputation and even lead to disciplinary actions if the content is seen as inappropriate or offensive. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, now we are moving on into implications of the issue uh, that we are presenting. Okay, next. Uh, okay, thank you. Okay, the implications, there are four. The first one would be damage to professional reputation. So teacher may end up viewed as unreliable. Teachers who post inappropriate or controversial content on social media risk damaging their professional reputation. Parents, students, and colleagues may view them as unprofessional or unreliable. And we can see that social media is a public space. So once content is shared, it is difficult to fully erase it. Even if you can erase it, it's difficult for people to forget. So teachers may find themselves subject to public criticism or scrutiny from parents, the media, or even other educators. Okay, second implication is legal and ethical consequences. Teacher face warnings and penalties. So teachers engaging in unprofessional behavior can lead to ethical violations. Some social media posts can be deemed as harassment, bullying, or discriminatory behavior, resulting in legal and contractual consequences. So, actually, many schools and districts have clear social media policies that outline what is acceptable online behavior for employees. So, misusing social media may violate these policies, leading to warnings, reprimands, or even termination. The third implication is unintended misinformation or harmful influence. So, teachers' activity on social media. Hi, can anyone hear me?
Yes, Mira.
Okay, I'm sorry. My internet connection. I uh I disconnected for a moment there. Can I just continue?
Oh wait, I'm guessing that Isyarul have a problem too.
Okay, let's just wait.
Okay, Mira, can you start now?
Okay. May I continue now?
All right.
Okay. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm sorry uh for the disconnection. Okay, the third implication, unintended misinformation or harmful influence, spreading false information. So teachers, role models, have a significant influence on students. If a teacher engage in controversial or harmful behavior online, students may mimic that behavior or adopt unhealthy attitudes, especially if the teacher's social media post involve sensitive topics. And teachers are expected to provide a balanced and informed perspective. So, engaging in the spread of unverified or biased content can challenge their role as impartial educators, affecting students' ability to think critically and make informed decisions. The fourth implication would be school reputation. Teachers' social media conduct is often linked to the school they represent. So, unprofessional posts or behavior can reflect poorly on the institution. So, this can lead to negative public perception and even tarnish the school's reputation. So, if the negative stories about a teacher's social media activity go viral, it can result in loss of trust from the community, uh, and leads to decreased enrollment or a reduction in public support for the school or from the for the district. Okay, I think that's all from me. I will pass this presentation to Isyarul. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good day to Madam Khairul and to all my fellow friends and colleagues. So now I will continue this presentation to the next subtopic, which is the proposed work around issues. Now now that we have looked into the background, causes, and the implication of the issues, now we need to explore some solutions or workarounds that can help us to prevent this problem from escalating further. Okay, so the first one is we have training awareness. So first and foremost, we must start with training and awareness, where many teachers are unaware of the boundaries between personal and professional online behavior. By conducting social media etiquette workshops for teachers, we may can uh, schools and districts can educate teachers on what is considered an appropriate content. So this session can include some examples of real-life disciplinary cases do's and don'ts of online sharing, uh, and how to maintain privacy settings effectively. It's about helping teachers understand that their online uh, presence reflects their role as educators, even outside the classroom. Okay, for number two, we have clear guidelines. Next, we need to establish a clear and accessible guidelines regarding digital conducts. Schools and the Ministry of Education should actively remind teachers of the policies under the Public Officers Conduct and Discipline Regulation. This includes what teacher can or cannot post, especially regarding student information, school events, or government matters. Just having simple summarized version of rules, maybe in the form of a poster or digital tablet, can make these guidelines easier to follow. Okay. Third, we have professional social media use. Teachers should be encouraged to use platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for educational purposes. For example, some teachers create content to explain grammar or to showcase student projects or to share some classroom activities. This promotes learning and builds a passive image of the professions and engages students and parents in a meaningful ways, as long it does not uh, interrupt with the student's privacy and professionalism in mind. For number four, we have internal complaint channels. So another important strategy is the availability of internal complaint or feedback channels. So many incidents, some of the teachers nowadays, they like to post their frustration online from or not having a proper channel to voice their concerns. So if schools offer a safe and non-judgmental spaces such as anonymous feedbacks, forms, or regular staff dialogues, teachers may feel less need to express their dissatisfaction in the online media platform. So this encourages a more constructive problem solving environment within the school community. Okay, and the last one is we have a strict enforcement. So we must not overlook the role of strict and consistent enforcement. Where violation occurs, authorities must act swiftly and fairly. Disciplinary actions, whether it's a verbal warning or more serious consequences, should be made clear and transparent. So enforcement doesn't mean that uh, just punishment alone. It also includes guidance, counseling, and second chances when it is appropriate. Okay, moving on to the last subtopic, which is the conclusion. So to conclude, we must remember that teachers are role models, not just in the classroom, but also in the digital world. Right. So social media can be a great ally for educators, but it must be used wisely. A careless post can do a very long-term damage to a teacher's reputation and the image of the school. So it is our responsibility as a professional education community to help teachers to navigate the digital space confidently and ethically. So we need to uphold the ethics in both physical and digital spaces. social media can be a tool for education, but if we misuse it, can damage the teacher's professionalism. Okay, through a mix awareness, support, and clear guidelines, we can create a culture of professionalism that align with both mentioned teachers' code of ethics and code of conduct for civil servants. So schools and the Ministry of Education must work together to ensure a proper digital conduct among teachers. So we need to let's work together between the teachers, schools, and the ministry so that we can build a very safe and respectful digital environment for everyone to involve in education. Okay, thank you. I think that's all from me and from us. Thank you very much.